So this is Bill from ATMakers. I am going to do something live here. Yes, it's the middle of the afternoon, and I know nobody's watching. It doesn't matter. I found myself with an extra hour and wanted to do something fun for a change. And I happen to have just gotten an AdaBox in the mail. Now, we'll talk a little bit about what an AdaBox is, but I want to unbox it, and I want to do it without having watched any of their videos. So I haven't watched the unboxing video or the walkthrough, or I haven't looked at any of the guides for all the projects in it. I just want to walk through it and see what's in there, and maybe take a look at how I might use every one of these things in an AT setting. Might be fun, it might not. This will probably be the only one of these I do, unless you guys think this is a good idea, in which case I can do it more. That's all good. Let's talk for a second about what AdaBox is. You guys know we're big fans of Adafruit around here. They honestly don't pay me anything. They're welcome to make a donation. I'll tell you if they do, but they haven't. They're a friend of ours. They make the equipment we need to do a lot of the AT stuff. And they've got a quarterly subscription service where every quarter you get a box. You get a box of goodies with stuff in it that is mostly Adafruit stuff, but also just stuff that they've looked through and put together in a way where you can do a bunch of projects and things like that. In this case, I think because it's number 007, I think it's probably going to be like spy stuff. I can go with that. Sounds like fun. I'm sure we can put it to good use. And I got one. So I thought I would go ahead and crack one open. If you are on Facebook right now live, say hi. Hi, Chris. I see Chris Young just joined. Chris might be a very good candidate for buying an AdaBox. He may already have one. You never know. Maybe he's already done his. But I'm going to go through this and do it with you live on the overhead. So hopefully I'm going to have everything focused correctly. I might disappear right here. I might disappear from the screen. Don't be surprised. And I will just be checking back every once in a while for questions. Not looking the whole time, so bear with me. All right, so Adafruit comes in a box from Lemore Freed, my buddy with the pink hair in New York. I did black out their address and my phone number. For some reason, my phone number was on the outside of the box, which was kind of irritating, but not a big deal. It came on time. It was supposed to be here on Tuesday. It got here on Tuesday. Barely. It got here at like 8 p.m. And so let's crack it open. All right. So in here, there's an AdaBox. That is the fancy-ass box they give us. And I'm going to be going through this. In addition, there's a invoice. If you've ever gotten an Adafruit invoice, they generally have this awesome format that shows a picture of everything you order. And that's much less useful right now because it's a box. But when you're getting a bunch of little tiny parts, having the photo of them on the invoice is really handy because you probably don't know what they look like. Let me take a... If you see me do that, it's because I'm getting over a cough and I don't want to deafen you. So hopefully I'll be able to do that every time I need to cough. So in addition to the invoice, there's a little something tacked onto this. And take a look at what it is. It is a little tiny DigiKey symbol. So it is a little tiny metal piece with a sticker on the back that says DigiKey. Well, DigiKey is one of their partners. I assume they've got stuff in this box, but I don't know what this is. So I assume it goes on something. Anyway, I'll set it aside. I actually have a basket set aside right here to put everything I pull out of here into. So let's go take a look at what else is in the box. All right. I've got stickers. So this is the EFF, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, and they've got a bunch of different stickers. They want SSL on every server. which we don't do yet on lesson picks. That's a good reminder for me that I need to do that. And a bunch of other stickers. Root for coders' rights, I blank censorship, your password is weak, and I heart the internet, EFF. Privacy Badger, which is a tool they have, and surveillance self-defense. These are stickers from the EFF. Let me see if I can brighten that up so you can see a little better. Yeah, it's probably closer to what they look like. And great. I like stickers. Everybody likes stickers. Hi, Noah. How are you? It says, my understanding is that they sticker put over your webcam for security. That's a good idea. It's a webcam cover for privacy. Howdy. All right, so that must be the this thing is a webcam cover. All right, I can go for that. That's a good idea. I'm glad you guys were here because I never in a million years would have guessed that. But it will fit on my webcam there. Up here, that would be counterproductive. But it would fit on my little one that's on my laptop, which for some reason is on. Glad I looked. So it's probably wasting some CPU cycles. But I would bet that that is a OBS problem and not somebody trying to snoop on me. All right. Glad you guys popped in. Glorified sticky note. All right. I'll go for that. All right. So what else is in here? 2600. This is for old people like me. You know what 2600 is. If you're not an old geek like me, this might be the first one of these you've seen. Noah, I bet you're not a old geek like me. Chris is. But 2600 has been around forever, since the 70s, I believe. And it actually started out as phone hackers, where phone freaks could mimic the tones on their, using their voice, they could mimic the DTMF tones that controlled the phone system, and they could actually make long-distance calls. And then they learned how to hack the phone system and things like that. And they kind of gave birth to a lot of the hacking culture that's out there today. So, yeah, this is awesome. And I believe that the founders of Adafruit are in here. I know they had a series, Citizen Engineer right here, I believe is still theirs. So that's page 54. I'll read this. I'll absolutely read this. Next plane flight, I'll read this. By Doc Slow. So that is not there. But I know that they have an article in Citizen Engineer that is Phil Turone's, by Lady Ada and Phil. So that's not how you spell Phil, but I guess that's his email at 2600. So, all right, awesome. That's great. That's a little extra bonus that comes with it. So it's not in the box. And then this is awesome. Actually, this is as far as open as I got last night. I did see this was in there, and I almost bought this subscription the other day. It's really expensive from the U.S. It's 100 euros from the UK, and or 100 pounds from the UK. Sorry, and that's just a lot of money for a magazine. So I actually put it off, and now I have one. So now I'll know whether or not I want to buy the subscription. Very kind of neat cover, and I've actually heard really good things about this. This is kind of the hacker magazine, the making magazine that everybody likes the most. And I did notice that there's like almost no ads in it. So might have more to talk about this later. But for right now, let's actually start looking at the box. So, and no, I really didn't cheat. I did not watch John Park last night. And I know nothing about what's in this except for the number 007, which makes me think it's probably spy-y kind of stuff. All right, so AdaBox opens. It's kind of neat. They've got like this shadow box kind of thing. It's a very well-made box. On the back, it talks about what's in it. Well, that doesn't sound like much fun at all. So I guess, well, here you go. So it's a secret spy security theme. That's all to teach you stuff you don't want to know. Yeah, it sounds perfect. There's going to be things in here that I can't turn into AT. I'm pretty sure of that. That's okay. All right, so we'll go down the list later. Actually, I'm impatient. Sorry. All right. These are the old Adafruit boxes. They don't ship these anymore, or at least not my stuff. Maybe my stuff comes too much at a time now. All right, so we've got an AdaBox sticker on this really cool paper, and I've had other things come in this paper before. It's really neat. If you've never seen this before, they actually had somebody design geek wrapping paper for them. So it looks like wrapping paper, but if you look real carefully to what's on it, everything in it is geek stuff. So there's like right here, there's a soldering iron in there, and traces from like circuit boards. That's an Adafruit logo. There's all kinds of stuff on here. It goes on and on. A little electric plug here. So it's cool wrapping paper, and I've reused it to give a gift before, so that'll be great to have some more of that. All right. So let's get rid of the box. All right, what do we got? First up is a Gemma M0. Now, those of you who don't, and this is different. This is using the machine that Lamore was showing us when we were up there. So this is not a Ziploc bag. It's sealed. So I'm not entirely sure why, but it's sealed. And a Gemma M0 is a tiny microcontroller board with just a couple pads on it that you can use. They're also capacitive touch. We actually have used this in an AT project with one of the little accelerometers that pairs to it. So it takes in a battery, and it's kind of like the baby sister to the Circuit Playground Express. So it's really tiny. It's great for wearables and things like that. Certainly, there's no doubt we will put this to good use, one way or the other. All right, battery holder goes with the Gemma and any of the other boards that take the standard JST connector here. So sure, we'll use that. Magnetic wire. I actually have some of this. It's really handy when you're trying. When I tried to tap the suction device for David Beckhauer. I started with this. I ended up using something more sturdy because I wanted to hold its shape, but I probably should have stuck with this. This is super tiny, signal-only magnetic wire. It actually is insulated. It doesn't look like it. All right, I got a tattoo. I could do like a face tattoo right there. So this is Blinka, the Circuit Python snake, and I will probably donate this to one of the kiddos here. Maybe one of the teens. One of the teens I work with will probably want that, if any of them are Python people, which they might be. Invisible UV pen. All right. Writing only can be seen under black light. Well, I have black light pen, black light flashlights. Cool. I'm not entirely sure how to use that one. Let's see. That's heavy. All right, piezo buzzer. These are great for indicators. I use one in the switch router that I just made for Jim to notify him when it changed. Certainly we'll use this lots of times. Plug it into any Arduino compatible and you can make it beep. This, well, that's several things. All right, these are batteries. I'll use them, no doubt. Small M3 screws and nuts, I guess for sorry, the idiotic box from Amazon is yelling at me from the next room. Hold on. It just said it was shipping something to Trouble Creek Square, and that's not a good thing. So I shut it up. All right. Woven conductive fabric. Well, yeah, we'll use this all day because this is great for making capacitive touch points on a stuffed animal or a stuffed anything that then acts as a switch. So we'll certainly use this. So we've got conductive fabric. I actually can sew. I actually have a really good sewing machine right there. I'm not sure why it's right there, but Lori used to own Lori's Embroideries back in the day. I learned to sew and embroider. So you never know, right? All right, what else is in here? All right, so there's no way to make this assistive technology, but I'll have a lot of fun with it. Maybe. I can never get it open. 1 second. That's very cool. All right, so as somebody who used to work for a locksmith, a lock and safe in Fort Lauderdale, this is very cool. This is a clear lock. And I actually do know how to pick this lock. I have a set of lock picks in the Bronco, I think. But that's just going to be fun. I have no idea how to make this assistive technology. I'm open to suggestions on that, but this is just going to be fun. Maybe use it in the sensory room. I don't know. There might be a set of lock picks in here. Look at that. Look at that. This is great. I didn't even have to get in trouble buying a set of lock picks. This is awesome. I wonder if I can still pick a lock. You think I can still pick a lock? Should I try it on the internet? Make myself look like an idiot? Oh, for Pete's sake. All right, so there's a wrench. And then we have one, the two, just the one. All right. All right, so let's see if I can still do this. Probably need it to go that way. Let's see. Probably easier on the clear ones. Let's see, maybe it goes the other way. It's nice to be able to see in there. It's a lot harder when you can't see. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. How about that? I still remember how to pick locks. Very cool. I haven't done that in 20 years. Honest, I haven't done that in 20 years. It got me in all kinds of trouble when I did. But I'm glad it worked. I feel good about it. All right, so this is all John Park, I got to think, probably. So John, very good idea. Love it. No idea how to turn it into a AT project at all. But I don't care. That's cool. So, very cool. Set of lock picks and a practice plastic lock. That's awesome. Chris Chris says, now watch Bill become a person of interest in every burglary in a 10-mile radius of his home. Well, I probably already was. I'm one of those troublemakers. So, all right, what is in here? It kind of got crushed. That's not good. Oh, I got an SDR. So I know what this is. This is great. So this is an SDR. Let me see if it's, yeah. So this is an SDR with an antenna. Very cool. So I have owned one of these in the past. It's kind of funny that they still shipped it with a CD. I don't think anybody has anything to run the CD on. So I hope it's available online somewhere, because I don't have a. Well, I'm sure I could find a way to get it off of there, but hopefully it's available online as well. It's got a remote and a antenna, and this, believe it or not, is magic. So if you guys don't know what, I'll spend a minute kind of explaining to folks what an SDR is. So this is a software-defined radio, and this is the smallest one I've seen, actually. It's very cool. I assume it's of the same quality as the one I had before, which is about twice this size. So this thing plugs into your laptop, and you plug in the antenna, and you stick it someplace, preferably on a ground plane. And what it does is it picks up all the radio signals, not a particular frequency. It doesn't, like a regular radio has a crystal that subtracts out the carrier frequency from the air, and that gives you the carrier signal. What this does is it actually records the entire electromagnetic spectrum for literally a broad bandwidth along a wide section, and it records it. And then it lets the computer, the PC that's running, or whatever it is you plug this into, that's running some software called SDR Plus or things like that, that then uses this to decode the messages. And this is really cool. Probably the only use I can think of for this from an AT perspective is it would let you decode, if you wanted to match, for example, a radio frequency remote control or a button that is no longer being made or the company's out of business, this would let you record the RF signal from that device and mimic it afterwards. You can't, I assume this is a listening only SDR, not a broadcast SDR, but at least it would let you figure out what's going on. If you wanted to like mimic your garage door opener and things like that, you could do that. This cold is killing me. It's been forever. But this is really neat. I actually have a project on the back burner that's not AT related that uses one of these, uses 3 of these. This, now I only need 2. But I'm not sure how to use this for AT other than for snooping on anything that uses RF to communicate. And a lot of the AT things do, because they don't want to have to be line of sight like infrared. So they'll use radio frequency in like the 433 frequency range and things like that. So let's put this back. And this must be an RF remote, not an infrared remote. It looks like it might be both. So it's got an infrared on it. That might be an infrared receiver on the receiver. I don't know. I'll have to actually do some reading on it. Maybe the remote also sends RF. Who knows? Let's see. There's been talk of trying to reverse engineer RF signals from remote-controlled ceiling fans for HD purposes. Yeah, it's a really good idea. And this would be the right tool for doing that, right? It'd be pretty easy to pick them up, run it through SDR, and there's actually, you can actually run it through a lot of different software. All right, we got, Chris, you know what this is. I know what this is. Well, I got a 50-50 shot at what this is. This is either an ultraviolet or an infrared LED. And honestly, I don't know that I could tell the difference. I would bet that it's infrared, except for they gave me ultraviolet pen. So I'll have to look on that piece of paper that I dropped and find out which one it is. Let's leave it in here for now. Or Noah will just tell me because he's here. This is an infrared receiver, so therefore I'm gonna bet that that's an infrared LED. So this would be good for sending signals. I understand the point here. This actually could do a good job of decoding your IR, except for Chris already did that for us. So you've got an infrared remote. Chris has solved your decoding problems. I love how Dragon butchers AT for everybody. It's not just you, Chris. Every time I say AT, anything that transcribes, right, it butchers it. It's always HD or it's achy or something. AT is not an acronym that any software knows. All right, panel mount 10K pot, so potentiometer. I learned something about these that might be worth telling people. When you solder these up, don't hold your soldering iron on too long. They burn really, really easily. It cost me a ton of time. Turns out this cheap board right here absolutely doesn't like to get too hot. So I went through 3 of these on the door opener project because I let the soldering iron sit too long, or the temperature on it was too high. So just a tip. I'm not sure which project needs this, but cool. 10K pot. That's a volume control knob for those of you who don't know that. All right, what else is in here? A knob for the volume. We got a USB cable. Okay, little tiny USB cable. And I'm willing to bet it is not a power only one, because Phil would never do that to us. That's like their number one problem is people using the data only cords and then sending back their small microcontrollers when they don't work. So I'm sure this is a good, very short cord. And then let's see. Oh, there's another random. That's not even infrared. That's just a transistor. Okay. I'll have to look up the number to see if it's a PNP or an NPN. All right. Let's see. This is super bright 5mm infrared LED. It sounds like they're giving me something to make a TV be gone. If you guys don't know what a TV be gone is, we can talk about that later too. Bold port stickers. Okay, I'm not a member of the Bold Port Club, but it's another subscription service. I like their stickers. And it says the original DigiKeyer. This is a puzzle. This is a jigsaw puzzle. I thought it was a kit. Let's see. That's the original DigiKeyer, which was the first thing DigiKey ever made. It was a Morse code tool, I believe. A digital Morse code tool. And I have a puzzle. It's kind of funny, Lori actually was teasing me and asking, I looked bored, so she asked me if I wanted to do a puzzle. No, I can't. Unfortunately, it's like already put together, so that's no good. We'll have to take it apart. All right, so that's what's in the kit. Now, I'll have to go look on the side. Oh, this is a, what is this? A fast vibration sensor switch. Well, that's AT all the way. This and a relay, and some very basic circuitry, and we can make a very sensitive touch switch. Interesting to see what they think I should be doing with it. So I'll have to read through the instructions. That's what's in a AdaBox 007. I will have to go through and look at their projects. Obviously, the coolest thing in here for me is, and it's only for me because it's not AT, is the lock picking set. Lock picks and practice lock. I haven't done that since I was 15, 18, about 18, I guess. So I used to work my my stepmother's parents, my step grandparents, whatever that is, owned a lock and safe in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I used to rekey locks for them and use these. So I'm real excited about that. But I'm sure we will put this to good use, and I will have to go look at what the projects are for it. If you guys want to take a look, I'm sure that AdaBox 7, oops, down here. I'm sure that there's a guide in the Adafruit Learning Guide. If you guys don't know how this works, the Adafruit Learning Guide has got all kinds of stuff. I'm sure if I'm typing up there again, sorry. If I type AdaBox 7, or AdaBox, there you go. There will be a guide, and it looks like it's not up yet. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there will be a guide. It's not up yet. Maybe mine came earlier than expected. I know they had a video where they unboxed it 2 nights ago or so, maybe last night. Here on the site, John Park. There you go. This is AdaBox 007 unboxing pre-edited version right here. So I'll need to watch that and find out. Oh, here's the live version. I'll watch one of these two, not both, and find out what they want me to do with it. But I'll use half of this stuff to make AT projects, and the other half to practice my lock picking. That's awesome. All right, so that was what I wanted to share. If you guys have any comments, let me pop over to Facebook for a second and see if there's anything here. Let's see. Chris Young says, new update to IRlib with improved SAMD21 support released just yesterday. If you guys don't know what that means, ask Chris Young in the comments below. But what it really means is he has a library that he wrote for Arduino that lets you control the infrared stuff that's in that box to control your TV. He controls everything with it. You should see his house. He's got this super remote that kind of controls everything. And all of it runs this IRlib because it can mimic all the different types of infrared remotes out there. And he says he has a new one released yesterday with better support for the SAMD21, which is what's in, excuse me, way down at the very beginning. It's what's in here. So this this device right here, which I'll go ahead and open, maybe with a lockpick. So this device, I do kind of like the Ziploc ones better. Let's go back to this. All right, so this device right here that we looked at in the very beginning. There you go. Actually, probably right about there. This actually has the SAMD21 on it. I'll show you where. So this little chip right here is an ATSAMD. It says 21 E18AU. This is a very small version of the ATSAMD 21, which is when we talk about an M0, that's what this chip is. An M0 is, I don't know why there's 2 different numbers for this chip, but Atmel SAMD 21, M0 is the other name for it. It's the I think the ARM acronym for it. But this is the chip that is in all of the major Arduino compatibles and CircuitPython boards right now. And so what Chris is saying is that he now has better support for this chip in IRlib, which is pretty cool. It is definitely what is out there and what we are using on a regular basis for making tiny little devices that do AT. I would bet half of the devices I've made, if they have any microcontroller, more than half of them have this chip in it. Anything with a CircuitPython or Circuit Playground Express has this in it. Anything with a feather that I use has this in it. So it is probably the most popular of the devices out there, and he's now saying that he supports it better in IRlib 2, which is great. So any other comments? Thanks for that, Chris. Don't think so. I think we're good. I think we're all set. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm not entirely sure. So I got two opinions here. I am certain that I got more value in this box than what I paid for it. But I'm not sure I got more value in AT stuff, because I think the lockpick and the lock probably held a bunch of the cost in there. But I'll put it all to good use. It'll all be good fun. Okay? So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I hope you don't mind me indulging me here on a little bit of a break this afternoon while I did this. And have a great weekend if I don't talk to you tomorrow. Bye.